So, good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening to all everywhere. I'm Tanetta, and we're still waiting on our domestic violence live stream. Had a few hiccups, and for the record, I've been extremely sick. So I haven't been getting all the videos and everything out. I've just been diagnosed with bronchitis and on some heavy steroids. I'm tired all the time. I like to talk, and so I'll get tired talking. And I'm on an inhaler and some breathing treatments. And so, yeah, so I'm going through, uh, womanhood things, the transitions, and the taboo of perimenopausal. And so I really want to get into talking about, I forgot my air is on full blast. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I really want to get into talking about these topics. I've been talking around with a few of the ladies and some of the gents, and so I'm definitely going to be talking about menopause and perimenopause, seeing that I'm hitting that wall. And so it's always been taboo. It's the thing that women don't really talk about until they're just saying hot flashes and attitude, or people will say, oh, they're totally bipolar, which is totally two different things. And so I really want to get into that. I've also been asked, since we're on mental health, I've been asked about one of my therapists is like, why don't you I do physical therapy, and they're like, why don't you do the different modalities? I know that Katie, yeah, I'm not even gonna mess it up. I know that she does really good YouTube videos on the modalities, and so if ever I do anything, I'll probably link hers as well. But when people are seeking treatment, what they should be looking for, I'll definitely do some of those so people can know, because all therapists don't have the same kind of modality. And a modality just means that what kind of counseling or treatment they're going to do. Like a CBT is, like, I can't even think right now, but yeah. So is to help people like with distorted thinking, and then there are people who do motivational interviewing, which is a little bit more supportive of even when you slack off. It's just part of the process. And then there's just talk therapy, and then there's where therapists are just listening to you and really wanting you to hear your own self. Maybe you just need to vent. And then there are therapists that are solution focused, where they kind of focus in on your strengths and have you realize what your strengths are, and will reiterate that back for you. And then we have those therapists that are just like straightforward in your face, like, nah, you was wrong about that. Okay, so nevertheless, I'm not going to get all into it right now, but yeah, they and for the information, CBT is cognitive behavior therapy. And so just I want to be able to explain those, so that way when you're going to look for a therapist, you know exactly what you're looking for. Because I hear all the time people say, oh, I'm never going to go back. All they did was this. All they did was this. And I'll hear like this person complain like, all they did was listening to me. And then I'll hear this person say, I wish that all they did was listening to me. And I'm sitting there going, y'all need to exchange therapists. And so you really need to know what kind of therapy they use, what kind of modality, so that you're able to pick and choose. When you're interviewing, you should be interviewing your therapist and saying, hey, what kind of modality do you use, or this is what I need in my life. I'm not sure what the modality is called, but I need you to do this. And if they say, oh yeah, that's not for me, but let me refer you to someone around the corner. Okay, so I'm going to do that one sooner or later. I promise you. Take some deep breaths. And then I'm definitely going to be doing a series on self-care, which I really enjoy self-care. And before we get to the self-care, I'll be talking a little bit about depression. Depression was very real in my life. I'm not going to really do a lot of storytelling. My storytelling was about the domestic violence. But I do want to be able to give you all some things that kind of make you go, I identify. So some people go, oh, I hate when she tells her stories, or when she's telling her testimonies, but it may not work for you, different modalities, but it might work for somebody else who's saying, man, I identify with that, I understand that, I know what that feels like, and somebody else knows what it feels like too. I thought it was just me. And so that's the purpose. There is power in testimonies. And when you hear somebody who's been through it and lived through it and gone through it, it helps a whole lot. And so right now I am dealing with headaches and bronchitis. And gosh, do I want to share that? Yeah, so I have a blood clot right now in my arm, and I'm dealing with that right now. And just trying to make sure that I'm trying to stay healthy. And so listening to somebody else tell me about, Tanetta, mine's dissolved, or now I'm under medication and it has to be controlled, or my bronchitis is controlled, or Tanetta tried the Claritin, or whatever. Those stories, those testimonies for me are good, because it's like, okay, they give me hope for something to look forward to, or they give me the reality of things, that the possibilities of the worst. And so I'm okay with that, and other people are too. And so we can't accommodate everybody and making everybody happy, but for those that it does make happy, be happy. All right, so that's what's coming up. And because I took 7 minutes for that, I definitely just want to go over the effects of depression, like depression in itself. Since we went over that, I'm not going to get into the gist of them, just because I don't want this video to be long. And so I do have my cheat notes down here. I'm going to just tell you that there are different types of depression. Major depression, bipolar, manic depression, seasonal affective depression, which is sad. And then I always say this wrong. Dysthymia. Yeah, I'm terrible at words, and so I will break those down in a later video, because I wanted to get into just the surface of it, since I'm just really giving you guys an update. But I know that I'm going to go into this series of talking about depression and self-care. And so there are many causes of depression. And depression could be brain chemistry. There can be an imbalance in the chemistry. A lot of the foods we eat can make our brains imbalance. Genetics, birth, things that were happening in birth. And that brings me to genetics. Genetics could be a cause of depression. It could run in the family. Some people, they're more vulnerable to stress because it's in their DNA, and so it's a predisposition. And so there could be medical illnesses or medications that make you depressed. I'm a proponent of taking medication as a part of treatment, but I also know that some of the treatments can actually cause you to be even more depressed. So you really have to do your homework. Hormones can make you depressed as well. They do affect you. Hypothyroidism, childbirth, menopause. I know that I am in perimenopause, which is like premenopausal. And so there are days when I wake up going, yeah, I'm just feeling real depressed today. I have no idea why, and so, um, not massively, not chronically depressed, just like, I mean, not major depressed, just like, yeah. So hormonal imbalance could definitely do it. The misuse of alcohol and drugs, and anything that's a downer is going to make you depressed. And alcohol, I know it makes you feel good, but it is a downer. And coming down off of the alcohol, that's why a lot of people cry, start telling you their dirty laundry. And severe stress or personal loss, definitely. Financial losses, difficulties, losing a job, diagnosed with a serious illness, physical, emotional, or sexual abuse. All of those things can can cause depression. And I know for me, like, I'm just not in the space that I want to be in right now. There's a lot. We've taken a lot of family losses, some financial hits like crazy. I'm in this, and then I just get diagnosed with some stuff, and then they tell me, hey, you got this blood clot. It's depressing. And I know for me that when all of the diagnosis and everything was happening, I was like, look, I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to see nobody. I don't even want to hear it's going to be okay. I just want to hear, I'm praying for you. And that was it. I shut my phone down. In fact, today is the first day that my phone's been back on since I got the blood clot diagnosis. And it was like, man, I just really needed time to reflect, process. Hello? Just, I think my son is texting me, and just kind of loving on me a little different, clearing my mind, body, and spirit, and being able to reflect on life a little bit differently, and appreciating the things that I have done in life. So I knew that this kid was gonna say he needed to go to work and needed me. Anyway, so those are the causes of depression, and you can have multiple factors going on in your life, and that's what's happening, and that's okay. Let me just say for the record, depression is normal. Let me say, as a therapist, depression is normal. It is a normal emotion to be sad, to have depression. What makes it extend and actually a diagnosis when it becomes extensive, chronic, major, it's lasted longer than it should, it's consistent in its intermittence, or it becomes unbearable or uncontrollable. And so are uncontrollable on your own, where the way to control it is medication or therapy. This kid, or you got a kid who's wearing you out. A grown kid. Okay, so yeah, he just threw me off. Nevertheless, that is what depression is. I will get into the depth of it and then actually break it down for you. For those who are trying to understand, it is important that if you have family and friends that are going through depression, that you understand what they're going through. But let me let you know, each person's walk is different. So if I say something and I miss a beat and you go, oh, I knew that they were pulling my leg. No. It's different for that person. That person may not be able to get up out the bed. For them, their energy is depleted. I used to date someone who would always say, I don't understand how you could be so happy when you're going through all the crap that you're going through. And I would say, I don't understand how you could be so sad going through all the crap that you're going through. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it but just live each day. I'm not going to do anything permanent for a temporary situation, and this too shall pass. No matter how bad it is, it always passes. And it really wasn't me just being cold and careless about what they were feeling. I'm just giving you the surface of it. But yeah, there was more to that conversation. I wasn't just cold and callous. But for the record, yeah. For the record, yes. Everybody's walk is different. Everybody sees, their perception is different. You know, you've heard the glass. Is the glass half empty or is it half full? And there are people that are on many different spectrums of life, you know, and so they see things totally different than other people. So that's all I got for today. I'm wishing you the best. Keep me in your prayers, and my son, keep me in your prayers as I will keep you in mind, and keep me in your love bucket, and I definitely have you in mind. Take care of you and have a great one.